What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher, along with Sean B. And today's topic is about that one day, that Valentine's Day, when Cupid shoots you in the ass, right? And you're in love and everything. Let me ask you this, Sean. Um, do you should we still be celebrating Valentine's Day? And is it just
Um,
for lovers, or is it for everybody?
Valentine's Day is not a day that is recognized by banks and considered like a national holiday where we getting off for work. So, I mean, I say that to say that technically it's another day. I mean, this year, 2022, it falls on a Monday, I believe. And so it's a regular business day, you know what I mean? For people who single, they wish to have a significant other because of all of the propaganda and the promotion of love and all of these corporations really, promoting their products on people, Uh, I think Valentine's Day is what you make it. For me personally, do I wish to be celebrating Valentine's Day? No. Because what's Valentine's Day and what did he do for anybody? I mean,
Do
it's just
do you think a
that.
lot of men get celebrated on Valentine's Day, or is it mainly just for the women?
Well, Valentine's Day is for the women. Sweetest Day is for the men.
Right. Well,
So,
that's how it's supposed to be, at least. Do
well,
do 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 you see men getting special treatment or anything on Sweeties Day, or no?
I, to be honest, I don't know. I
Or is
feel
it
like
just or is it just a holiday used to promote more spending?
for all of these
All of these holidays
holidays,
are. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean,
You got to figure, man. What's another situation where they're going to sell a lot of flowers, and it's probably not many holidays that will allow you to sell a lot of flowers. I mean, most of them are for like funerals and stuff like that. But if they got a big crop of flowers out there, they have to have a day dedicated to getting a lot of these flowers out. So it does help out the flower market pretty good. It also helps out the candy market pretty good. Hershey's and all these places, they make a killing on days like this. Uh, because of the chocolates and stuff. So do you think? Yeah, because that is true. I do feel like it's been commercialized so much that it really is a holiday for the ladies, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm cool with them even getting most of the attention on Valentine's Day. I would like to see some improvements on Sweeties Day for the men. But yeah, is it just for lovers, or can it be for others too? You think, Sean?
well, these holidays is designed for couples, if you ask me. So, I mean, if you single, all right. Well, if you single, do what you do. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. If you feel like
Right.
you want to celebrate because you love yourself, then by all means do it. Me personally, when it comes to celebrating, going out and spending money and acting crazy, hey, yeah, let's have a good time. I mean, this might sound crazy, but it kind of got to be a reason. So when I think about Valentine's Day, it's like, what is that? Like, when I even think about Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter, it's like, what is that? Like, why are we jumping around and all happy? Like why do we choose these days as opposed to other days? And so it's like, if
Well,
you in a relationship, cool. Valentine's Day is supposed to be for the women only, and Sweetest Day is supposed to be for the men only. So if you in a relationship, to my knowledge, that's how it's supposed to go.
yeah, but it don't go that way. Um,
Well,
I think
in
Sweetie's
my
Day has
relationship,
been
it do.
I think Sweetie's Day has
So
been kind of hijacked. Uh, what do you think about Valentine's Day, Ski? You ready for Valentine's Day? Is it just a commercial holiday, or do you feel like it's something that's needed to remind lovers that they care for each other and stuff like that, or is it just used to stir capitalism and have people spend money?
Well, it's deeper than that. It ain't about money. It ain't about. It's a love boat tradition.
hmm.
These heathens. What's behind the curtain again. Some satanic, some evil. What Cupid is, a little demon, shooting a little arrow into you.
So do you celebrate Valentine's Day at
You
all
know,
when you in a relationship, or you know, or
we
when you're
don't
single?
follow the ways of the heathens. That's their celebration. That's love boat madness.
But
So
here's what I noticed though. Everybody's baked into the culture, right? So even if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, your girl probably do.
that
You
was
know what
gonna
I
be my
mean?
question for you. So has that ever drove any females away from y'all, or I should say,
Well, I'll put
cause
it
of?
this way: is they, holidays like this? They love holidays like this. It's like I mean, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas. A lot of the women are baked into this culture. So if you don't,
Emotions.
yeah. So if you don't come with it, or bring them flowers or whatever, or treat them special on days like this, they feel a certain type of way, and they will hold it against you. It's only the woke women, or the women who seem to be more conscious or don't care about stuff like that really will not give you such a hard time on it. But the ones who are still believing Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and Valentine's Day, and like I say, the women who are baked into the culture still want that. And let me say this: I'm not necessarily against it. I'm not necessarily against Valentine's Day. I think you should have a day where you show appreciation to your woman or your man or whatever. I feel like both days is for both people. Like Valentine's Day should be both for the men and the women, and so should Sweetie's Day. It should be for the men and the women. But a lot of times it just falls on the men to continue to give, and a lot of times we end up with the short end of this stick. I mean, it's just is what it is. It's factual. But I do feel like the holidays do have a nice little reminder to show some appreciation to your woman, because you can kind of get lost in the sauce if you don't do that. Like, for instance, anniversaries and holidays and birthdays. Anniversaries are pivotal. Uh, Holidays are key. Birthdays are very important. So a lot of times, a lot of women, if they baked into the culture, they don't care about stuff like that. What do y'all think?
So so what I do is I don't do holidays. So like Valentine's Day, we not with that. But what my people do know is that I go all out, like you said, for anniversaries and for birthdays. So if it's your birthday, I'm gonna make for sure that I try to look out for you for sure. And it's like on the anniversary, same thing. Like.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Ski? Like, do your girl, is she woke, or or do you have one, or whatever the case may be? And if you do, is she woke? Do she care about holidays
That is,
or?
you know, at the end of the day, you know, these heathens is real funny because this is the last month of the year, you know.
What?
And, you know, they fooled you. April Fool. Anyhow, like I'm saying, they give you the last month of the year, it's a slaughter, you know, and then at the same time, it's the celebration of Negroes or their achievements or whatever on the love boat. We don't follow their ways, you know. The Saint Valentines Day and, you know, Black History Month on the last month of the year. Dig that.
What do you mean last month of the year? This is February. I'm lost. What are you talking about?
Of a real year.
Let's read.
How you gonna have a new year? New birth.
Are you talking about
anything?
the zodiacs? Talking about of the zodiac?
No, we ain't talking about fallens again or Greek and gods, you know, Hellenized gods or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I get all that, man, but I mean, quite simply, man, can you tell me if your girl wants to? Does she celebrate this holiday or what?
It ain't about the ones that accept the happiness of the love boat. It ain't even about that. It's about what that tradition is, you know, what they want on that particular day. Like this particular month is Black History Month. Now we got to celebrate a loving day during our loving month, you know, or our happy month, or our month, the Negroes' month of achievement, you know. So
you mad that Valentine's is in February?
During the last calendar month of the year, that's big, you know, the love of each other. You know, we're supposed to do that all year round anyway, you know.
Yeah, but in the hustle and bustle, people can get a little, you know,
make a special day. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they can get a little lost in the sauce. Go ahead, Sean.
It's a special day.
So you saying New Year starting March, or is it April?
It should be in April because March is like Pisces is the last zodiac sign. So April actually should be considered the first of the of the zodiac year.
April Fools. Gotcha.
Yeah, I believe so. So it's in April, and then the zodiac start from there, and then like in March, second to last week in March is when is Pisces, and that's the last day. And from March 21st on, it starts a new zodiac calendar year, I guess you could say. But so y'all not very romantic, man. Y'all don't really believe in Valentine's Day, and y'all don't really rock with it too much, huh? Everybody don't speak at once. You there, Ski?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I mean, because again, I don't agree with the. I mean, I don't just tell the.
Wait, you in the Matrix, Sean? You back in the Matrix? Wait a minute, man.
Partner, boy.
Oh my goodness. What did you say, Ski?
And
Sean, you was horribly in the Matrix, man. Are you close to it? Well, you got good sales service or something?
I wasn't even speaking during this time.
Well, that's what we heard. You'll see it in the video, but we heard you. I mean, you were like, yeah. So, but this holiday is coming up, man. It's Valentines. Everybody's get their little romance on. I think it serves a purpose. I think it's important to reconnect with loved ones. I don't necessarily even think it's just for lovers either. I mean, you could show your parents love, you could show your kids love, you could show other significant people love on Valentine's. A
Or
lot
love
of
on Thanksgiving by each other.
You said
You
what?
know, no, and that's a controversial holiday as well because we know what Thanksgiving is about. So it's the same. You know, it just ain't mentioned as much. Valentine ain't mentioned as much as Thanksgiving, but the same thing. You know, no different.
Yeah, I mean,
So Valentine Day is a very old Roman traditional that was a festival called Lupercalia. Lupercalia. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but this was a festival that they used to host in the middle of February to officially start their springtime, and they made it official in the year 496.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Well,
it's just interesting to me because year 496. I mean, you got to think the ancient Egyptians had their own calendar. They didn't even have a new calendar. Actually, that's false. I almost told a lie because there was two calendars since the fall of the ancient Egyptians. It was the one that we were on before this one, and now we're on the Gregorian calendar. And so it's just interesting to me because, like I said, the Romans started this in 496.
Yeah, and you got little Cupid with the arrows and everything. I'm interested to know how they celebrated it. I think they celebrate a lot different than what we do today.
Oh,
But I ain't gonna
viewer
try to go there.
discretion advised.
Yeah, I ain't gonna try to go there. But I imagine they celebrated it a lot differently than what we do. But
Well, I mean, where do you think we get a lot of these traditions from, quote unquote, you know? And that's why every year we celebrate it the same way that the Romans did, because who's still in power? I mean,
Well-
and then we got to think about that. Like, you know, what are we really doing, you know?
yeah, I mean they they do have their holidays, and they kind of, and like I said, if you were born here and you kind of baked into the culture. I mean they got they holidays and celebrations, and us being here, we baked into the culture. I mean, it just is what it is. I think it's honestly celebrated all over the world, though.
But you said something key. You said a very key word, culture. Whose culture?
exactly. You know, the happy culture. You know, we can't say the word happy. You talking about standing up. Now's the time to stand up. You know, accepting the culture. You know, it ain't ours.
Right.
No, I agree. It ain't ours. It's a Roman, holiday or whatnot. But I mean, it's one of those situations, man, where you were born into it, and you just roll with the punches. Everybody is at that. Like, we all speak English, right? But it ain't English. Well,
Oh,
but what I'm saying
this
is,
gets a little bit deeper.
yeah,
Roll with the
it goes deeper, because what I'm saying is,
Culture.
this is not our native tongue. This is not our native culture. This is not.
Not
I
only-
just
we're
Google what is the real story of Valentine's Day, right? And here's the answer, y'all. Right off of Google, it say the ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of our modern day love. Emperor Claudius II executed two men, both named Valentine Day, on February 14th of different years in the 3rd century AD. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with the celebration of Saint Valentine Day. Dig that.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different story from 496,
We
but
get deeper than that.
it's still the Romans, though.
yeah.
Kick it, cuz. How deep do it go? Kick it.
I ain't gonna freestyle on it, but yeah, it's a little deep. You know, we know how these heathens get down.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they celebrating the execution of two men, both by the name of Valentine. Now, I don't know about that. That's the first time I've ever heard that story, but
And they saying that's how the holiday started.
Yeah. And let me
That
Google
would
who is
be,
Saint Valentine Day.
yeah, I was gonna say that would
Who's
be totally opposite of what it means today. I mean, you're talking about two executions. Like, how you get the day of love out of two executions?
Saint Valentine was a third century Roman saint commemorated in Western Christianity on February 14th and Eastern Orthodox on
All
July
right, so that's
6th.
more like it. He was a Saint Valentine was a saint, a
From the High
Christian.
Middle Ages, his saint day has been associated with the tradition of courtly love. He is also a patron saint of turning ellipse, epilepsy and beekeepers.
Hmm.
So I don't know what tourney is, but I guess he had epilepsy and was a beekeeper. But
Mm.
he was born in 175 AD and died February 14th of 269 AD, according to Google.
In 269 AD. Well, that's way before the 496 that you were talking about earlier. You said
Right. It
it's
said it's third. He's a third century Roman saint. So that would actually line up with the story that I just read about where Valentine Day derived from. If the Roman, what did it say, emperor
mhm.
executed two guys named Valentine Day in the third century AD, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it says the ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of our modern day love, and I quote unquote Emperor Claudius II. So he was the emperor at the time, aka king, president, whatever you want to call it. But he had Saint Valentine, who was a Christian quote unquote saint. He had him executed on February 14th. And they've been honoring this day for him, quote unquote. Maybe this nice guy who didn't deserve it or something, who went against the church. Just a guess.
Mhm. What do you say about that, Ski?
I can't, it's a lot of stories, but like I said, at the end of the day, you know what planet we on.
Yeah, I know what planet we on. I know what country we in. I know the times we are in,
Look at that.
Man.
and they are times of,
Peril.
yeah, especially
So,
for the melanated class. We used to rule everything, but not now. But look, I don't really mind. Look, I don't really mind Valentine's Day too much. I mean, I know that it's not our holiday or whatever. It's not in our culture, and I get that. Um, but that happens with a lot of holidays. A lot of people don't really, you know, we're all baked into this culture where it's just tradition to celebrate these holidays year after year after year. And a lot of times people don't even really ask questions; they just celebrate them.
So the
But
question is, after you get enlightened, do you want to still continue celebrating, or do you want to change your ways personally?
well, yeah, and that's a good question, and I think it really depends on you and your tolerance of it or your
No, I'm talking about
understanding
you.
of it. As far as me, I I don't, and I'll just be honest, I don't really believe in a lot of the holidays. But at the same time, I don't mind celebrating them because, for one, a lot of times the state or the government recognize those days and you got those days off. So you might as well celebrate it. You know what I mean? 4th of July, it don't really mean much to me, but I got the day off. You know what I mean? So, I barbecue or
So,
something like that and celebrate my own, ideas and cultures and traditions. I just repurpose it. You know what I mean? Repurpose the whole holiday.
and that's kind of what a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of females be on nowadays. Because even the woke ones still be like, but I want something. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Oh yeah, they're
well,
going.
we just gonna celebrate it differently. We gonna call it this. We gonna call it that. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
but the key is they gonna want something.
That's the
we
point. And so,
we can rename it whatever we want to rename it, but I better get a gift. That's really what it
right.
boils down to. Yeah.
To go back to my vital question of after you personally get enlightened, do you want to change your ways? Your answer, according to your answer, you said you don't really believe in these holidays, which drew me to this question that I want you to answer is that if you don't believe in something, why participate in spending your money on this day, or why do anything different? I mean, yeah, you said you get the day off, but why not just take that time to take care of you? Why do anything outside of the normal?
let me give you an example too. Um, this might be TMI, but I'll tell y'all anyway. We don't hide from the truth here on BMR. It just is what it is. Say for instance, when we're at a Thanksgiving table, right, and everybody bow their heads to pray.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bow my head to pray too. Doesn't mean I have to, believe in the same God as everybody else, or a God at all, or whatever the case may be. Whatever deity I know that everybody else is baked into the culture, so a lot of it is me just kind of
Going with the flow.
going with the flow, sort of, but at the same time repurposing it for myself. Like, I'm not going to be that guy who is going to be so stubborn that I'm not bowing my head.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm not bowing my head because I have these beliefs. Everybody else bow their head for grace, and that's just
I always been a knucklehead though, Pop. I ain't never just.
Oh, I know, I know.
Hey, they say I still got a problem with the current system and just rules I just do not seem to follow. Like, if there's a rule, I'm gonna find a way to bend around it. Like, nah, this is how I'm gonna go about it though.
Yeah, I know you've been like that. You wasn't brought up that way, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is, man. With these
that's how leaders are
holidays.
made though, right? Like, I mean, something a wise man said was, I'd rather be a dumb leader than a dumb follower.
Or even a smart follower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you following, are you really even that smart? Because you're not even thinking for yourself.
Yeah, but look, well, I mean, I get that whole sentiment, but there's nothing wrong with following too. And that's what people have to realize. There's nothing wrong with following, especially someone who can lead you to the promised land some kind of way. If there is a financial advisor who know more than you, and got the answers, or even if it's a parent or a school teacher or whatever, follow them. To me, the smart people, look, even Warren Buffett and them follow. I mean, he got Charlie Munger. I mean, these guys, they follow, like Bill Gates. He don't just lean on his own understanding when it comes to a lot of this investing. He lean on Warren and them. Invest my money. Ain't nothing wrong with being a smart follower. I would rather be a smart follower than a dumb leader, honestly, because I know what people are thinking. Like, oh, well, if you're the leader, you get to say, well, what good is being a leader if you don't know what you're doing? You see what I'm saying? What good is being a leader if you're going to run yourself or people you may love into the ground with you? That's just ridiculous. So, I mean, I get where that sentiment came from. I know you said a smart person said that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'd rather be. I want victory, and I don't care how I get it. I can get it leading without a doubt, but I can get there following too, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You know, and this is kind of a weird example, but I'll bring it up anyway. Like Drake, right? Drake, he didn't create Cash Money. He had to follow Lil Wayne. He had to follow Baby, and Ice Cube had to follow Easy E and Dr. Dre. Everybody, Snoop had to follow Dr. Dre. Everybody has to follow somebody to get to a promised land, and then they become leaders in their own right because they have the example, or
So what if you want to follow Christ himself?
what if I want to follow Christ?
Yeah.
Well, if he can show me the way, then I'll follow him. Without a
That's the
doubt.
real promised land when you think about it. Like, ultimate peace.
I mean, that's what they say. But I mean, I'm trying to stick with this Valentine's theme here. But
Well,
all
I'm
in
just saying it's like it's all wrapped together. Like,
yeah.
they be speaking on his name every time they want to celebrate and act how they act. We gonna go out and paint the eggs all bright colors, y'all. We're gonna go out and buy up all of the Christmas toys and fight over toilet tissue, when it's a pandemic, y'all. And we gonna gather around the table and we gonna cut up this big old fat pig, whole pig with the apple in his mouth. Yeah, we gonna do all of that and we gonna speak on his name every single time. And it's like, come on, fam.
Yeah.
So when you present it with that, it's like, okay, now y'all giving me the option to choose. Okay, so y'all gonna tell me, oh, this Jesus' birthday, and I'm gonna be like, okay, well, who is Jesus and why ain't we celebrating his birthday? Is this how we supposed to celebrate it? Like, is this what we supposed? You see what I'm saying? And so when you ask them questions, and you come across the answer, it's gonna be different than what we doing. It's gonna be like, nigga, what is Valentine's Day? Excuse my language.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is it's a marketing tool. It's designed to help out a couple of industries. The flower industry, the greeting card industry, the chocolate industry.
Well, you can't put evil. You can't put evil for good. No, don't do that.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Ski?
I mean, Valentine's Day is an evil day.
I would. Okay, well, I think we just have a
Why you
difference
say
of
that?
opinion with that.
What makes you say it's an evil day? Cause what make it evil?
You're going back to what you said about the so-called Jesus character.
So what happened with Jesus on Valentine's Day?
Like the same way they hype his name up, and make all these celebrations, but it's for that character,
So you don't believe in no holidays, then?
Nah.
Ski?
No, they all pagan.
We got holidays and we got holidays.
Yeah, they may be all pagan. They may be, but like I said, man, a lot of the people are baked into the culture. It just is what it is, and you kind of grow up in this. And I mean, yeah, a lot of us are woke to what's real and what and about these holidays and things like that, and the fact that they're pagan and all of that. But at the same time, if you grew up your whole life, that's why a lot of people can't seem to move off of things that they've been knowing all their life, is because they knew it all their life. So it's hard to give up a belief system when you've been taught that your whole life.
So if somebody came up to you and asked you, what's your culture, what would you personally tell them?
What is my culture?
What's your culture?
I would say I have African American culture. I'm
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I know a lot of people don't believe this or know this, but yes, African Americans do have their own culture. I mean, You know,
That's true.
sometimes I talk to Africans and they don't think that we have our own culture, and that couldn't be further from the truth. All you got to do is
Right.
look at, especially the entertainment, the music, the whatever, the movies.
What's an African American dish?
I can name a whole bunch of them, bruh. Neck bones, chitlins, collard greens, cornbread.
Exactly.
Shitty. So my question to you is, knowing that African American culture was created and the dishes that we used to eat came from peril times and just troubled times, the stuff that we was going through, we was fed the scraps, literally. Do you feel like there's maybe some more growing we need to do as an African American culture? Like maybe, because I recall growing up in your house and you was like, big on the African culture. Y'all need to get into y'all roots, get into your roots. And so I guess my question is, if on these holidays we presented with these two stories, which culture would you tell your kids to follow? The pagan, because you just admitted that, okay, one is the pagan and then the other should be it should be the quote unquote African American or Kunta Kinte.
First of all, it ain't Kunta Kinte. First of all, look, I always try to teach my kids or whatever to be,
to follow
black and proud, pretty much. You know what I mean?
That culture.
And
I
would teach them the African American culture and the African culture. I think if they're not one and the same, they should be, because the story goes all the way back to the continent.
So would you label me personally stubborn for not wanting to celebrate Valentine's Day and other pagan holidays because of the claim that it's not my culture?
Not necessarily stubborn. It's just, you at an age, man, where you can make decisions on your own based on the information you got. It's a personal, it's a personal thing. So if you don't feel like it resonates with you, then don't celebrate it. The same thing with any holiday, even Christmas or whatever. If it don't resonate with you, don't do it.
Tired.
What was your?
So okay, I was gonna say hypothetically, if we at the dinner table, right, being that bowing your head and praying don't really, but I can't really speak for you. I was gonna say it don't resonate with you, like, right?
It don't resonate with me. But if I am to, I might substitute it for meditation. You know what I mean? Or speaking to the universe, or whatever the case may be, or the God that I believe in. You can just.
So you believe in a God?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go over it because it's
we're gonna say that for another show.
Yeah, it's super complicated. Y'all ain't got time for that one. But yeah, I would say that I just repurpose everything to better suit me, because I know the state we're in, I know the country we're in, I know the culture we're in, and how they're used to traditionally doing things. So,
So let me ask you this: would you say that the slaves that existed in America, or the quote unquote African American culture, that we kind of got tricked into following?
I don't know how y'all keep going back towards that, man, when we talking about Valentine's Day. But let me say,
because like you said, we all follow this culture, right? Where most people in America, they gonna just, by force of habit and tradition, quote unquote, they gonna celebrate Valentine's Day. So my question is, do you think that we got tricked into pagan culture? just as a whole?
I think that I wouldn't say tricked. I think we just got raised in it. It was cultures and holidays that they celebrated and believed in, and they just brung them
So now
over
by
here.
default, we do.
So now by default, we do. I mean, I don't think it was something that was forced on us. Ain't nobody, forced us to celebrate Christmas. I mean, you might have some social
Mm.
pressures. You might have some social pressures, but that's what I mean by it being baked into the to society and to the culture is because
Hold up. You said nobody forced us to celebrate these
nobody forced
holidays.
us to celebrate these holidays, but like,
What do you know about 4th of July?
I mean, that's it. What do you mean? What do I know about it? It's to
Oh,
celebrate the birth of this nation, but we're not being forced to celebrate it.
so do you know what they did to the slaves on 4th of July before they was celebrating the birth of this nation, quote unquote?
I don't know. I don't think I really want to know in this episode, man. Maybe we should
Gotcha.
talk about that because I don't want to go too dark with this. You know what I mean? I'm trying
All
to
right, all right.
get us to talk more about the holidays and the holiday itself, and not get too too deep into to that aspect of it. But some good questions as far as how I celebrate them and things like that. But like I said, I co-opt them and I turn them into something that resonates with me, and I pretty much do that with everything that I don't necessarily agree with. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. They might feel like I'm not being genuine or whatever. It's not, no, that's not the case. I can repurpose it into something that I like. I mean,
Right,
I'm
right.
I'm the I own my own feelings, so I do what I feel, and some people will be, you know, the type of people who say, well, that goes against my traditions or my whatever the belief system, and they'll just refuse to participate. And I get that stance too. Just like Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff. They don't celebrate Christmas, culture or no culture. They just don't celebrate it, and they don't celebrate birthdays and things like that. They just, you know, the only thing that's
That's
important
their
is
culture to not celebrate.
that's part of their culture. Yeah. So they don't, do they celebrate, things like Valentines? I don't know, but I doubt it. I doubt that they celebrate any holiday, but I'm not a witness, so I don't know all the ins and outs. But that being said, that's their culture. That's how they choose to move. They're not going to celebrate it, and it is what it is. So, um, but you know, this Valentine's coming up. I think it's going to be, for some it's going to be uh, just a regular day. For others, it's going to be, you know, a, a good reminder, because I'm gonna tell you, man, in this pandemic time that we're living in, uh, I would say this Valentine's is probably just as important as any other year, because I think a lot of people need to feel some love. You know what I mean? There was a young lady who was Miss USA who, ended her life because she was feeling a little lonely, and feeling like there was no other alternative other than to take herself out. Beautiful chick, beautiful woman too, man. And I wish she was still alive. She could have been my Valentine. I'm just saying, because I mean, she was a lawyer, she had it all, but she didn't see that because she didn't really have a family. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We're gonna wrap this one up. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. Since the BMR covered it, now it's official. And get those t-shirts and check us out in the next video. See you later. Peace.